Hello there, Mighty Joe here. This is part 2 of neural training for grip. This is where I'm going to go over the using a grip machine and practicing a ballistic type movement to help increase your rate of force development in your grip. Before I do that, let's do a quick summary of video part 1 on neural training for grip. And basically what it is you're trying to increase the frequency at which the motor neurons fire, and the summation of that frequency put together increases the output or the force you can produce in your hands. And one of the ways to get it up is to include ballistic type movements. Velocity, acceleration could be other terms, but not necessarily speed. Speed where you're just doing something real fast one after the other, where a ballistic type movement is where you, on one single repetition, you're going from point A to point B as quickly as possible with all the force possible in your hand. So that's the difference. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I showed you in video 1 how to do it with a gripper, and here's how you can do it with a grip machine, but I want to make several important points. First, let me demonstrate a ballistic movement with this grip machine. It would be like this. That's one. Just like that. And concentrate on just using your hands and fingers, not just flexing your elbows and then extending, or using your back or your legs. Keep your legs locked out and your arms extended, and focus just on the fingers and the hands. And just like that. That's a ballistic type movement on a grip machine. Now, a couple important points. The range of motion. If you'll notice, I had to lift this, squeeze it up to get it where I wanted it, and then do the movement. Well, you can easily put blocks or shims up under your frame, in between the two frames, so that you can control this distance. If you wanted it at 20 millimeters or 30 millimeters or whatever to work that range of motion, that's what you could do. But the most important thing is the position of your fingers in your hand. There's a lot of people who tell you that there's not much carryover from a grip machine to grippers. Well, I disagree based on what I'm fixing to tell you. It's because when you see most people train a grip machine, their hands will be like this. In other words, like that. When in reality, when you close a gripper, you're not doing this like this. You're not doing that. You're doing this. You're actually pulling the gripper into your palm, your thumb base, with these first two joints, not below this middle one. It's always from here to here. Well, that would be the same way. Notice what I'm doing with the grip machine. Look at my finger. I'm going to move my thumb out of the way. I'm closing it like this, not like this. There's a big difference. And the reason they don't get much carryover, and this is something I'm going to get into later on, I'd love to do a video on it, it's called body mapping. Every time you fire a neural circuit, there's a body map created for that movement. And if you train your movement specifically the same way for grippers as you do a grip machine, the carryover will be huge. But if you train it the way that you don't shut a gripper, there won't be much carryover. And I think that's what's happening. And this is based on experiments I've actually done. I found there's a lot of carryover if you have your hand positioning the same as you would through the range of motion as you would through a gripper, like this, just like you would a gripper, instead of like this. I'm telling you, there's a huge difference. So that's part 2. The next video, I'm going to get into some isolated finger training, and introduce you to a ballistic isometric movement. But you'll be working your fingers, you'll be doing finger flexion just like grippers, but isolated from each other. And I'll get more into that on video number 3. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps. Give it a try. Have a good day.